Okay, so get ready for the deep dive today. We are heading into some interesting territory today, that's for sure.
Sounds intriguing. I'm all ears. What's on the agenda for our deep dive today?
Today we're diving into, well, meditation and plants.
Okay, meditation and plants. I can vibe with that. Where's the interesting territory part come in?
Let's just say the video I found. Well, the guy believes that meditating with plants can basically turn you into one.
Turn you into a plant. Okay, you've officially piqued my curiosity.
So I was doing some, late night YouTube browsing and stumbled across this video. You know how it goes.
The YouTube rabbit hole, it gets us all.
Right. Anyway, in this video, there's this guy, let's call him Jason.
Okay, Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
Oh.
So Jason believes that by meditating in front of his houseplant, he had some, let's just say, unique experiences. Well, he calls it, and I quote, becoming aware of the plant observing me. He even goes on to say that when meditating, there were only two plants present. Him, and get this, his ficus.
He considers himself a plant.
I mean,
I appreciate a good metaphor as much as the next person, but that's a new one.
Right. But hold on, it gets more interesting.
More interesting. You're really setting this up.
Because then he starts talking about, and I'm not making this up, focus vectors. He believes that while he is focusing on this plant, it is focusing right back.
Focus vectors. Okay, now I see why this deep dive is heading into uncharted territory.
You see what I mean? It's a lot. But, and this is where it gets kind of thought-provoking, he stumbles onto something. Well, something kind of interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
He basically argues that plants, all plants, are constantly observing us, aware of our presence and actions. Like he's picturing some kind of laser beam of focus coming from this plant,
Okay, so maybe we can leave the laser beams out of it.
Yeah.
But this idea of plants and humans sharing some kind of reciprocal attention, that's interesting, right? Like, where do we even start to unpack that?
Right. Like, I'm all for expanding our awareness, but I'm not sure I'm ready to start having a staring contest with a cactus.
Well, I don't think we need to go that far. But this video, even if unintentionally, does make you think about our relationship with the natural world.
That's true.
For example, there's this concept called plant blindness. Have you heard of that?
Plant blindness. Vaguely. It's like we don't really see plants.
Exactly. We tend to treat plants as background noise rather than the complex, dynamic organisms they actually are.
Which is funny, actually, because I do remember reading something about plants being able to, communicate with each other. Something about underground networks.
Absolutely. They communicate through these amazing underground fungal networks called mycorrhiza. It's like their own version of the internet, where they can share resources, warn each other about dangers. It's really quite remarkable.
So maybe Jason was onto something with this whole focus thing. Maybe we just need to plug into the right network. I'm kidding, of course. But seriously, when we take the time to really pay attention to nature, even something as seemingly simple as a plant, it can be a powerful experience.
It really can. And that's what's so fascinating about this whole idea of attention. When we choose to focus on something, it changes how we experience it. We notice details we might have missed before. We appreciate the beauty in the everyday. It can be quite profound.
It's funny you mentioned that. Just the other day, I was walking through the park and I stopped to look at this oak tree. And really look at it, the way the branches reached up to the sky, the patterns in the bark. It was like I was seeing it for the first time.
And that's the power of mindful observation. It can transform the mundane into something extraordinary.
Totally. It's like that saying, stop and smell the roses, but for, everything.
Exactly. Cultivating that sense of presence, of appreciation for the world around us, it can make a huge difference. And hey, who knows? Maybe those insights could lead to some pretty amazing discoveries. We might not all become plants, but we might just learn a thing or two from them.
Maybe we'd be more grounded, more connected. Who knows? But that's a great point to end on, don't you think? We started with a guy, a houseplant, and a YouTube video about becoming one of them.
And we ended up with plant intelligence, mindfulness, and the power of perspective. Talk about a journey.
Exactly. But isn't that what a good deep dive is all about? So as you go about your day today, why not take a moment to try seeing the world through a different lens? Approach that tree on your street corner, that houseplant on your windowsill, even that dandelion pushing up through the sidewalk. With a sense of curiosity and wonder, you never know what you might discover. And who knows, maybe you'll even start picking up on those focus vectors. Just kidding. Mostly.
It's a jungle out there.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.